Okay.
Wow, Bill.
I move to open this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission on Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 5:31 p.m. First thing first, roll call.
Jenny Druckman.
Here.
Bill Higgins.
Here.
Holly Priestley.
Here.
Angela Rockefeller.
Here.
Karen Schumacher.
Present.
Sharon Stetter.
Here.
Leslie Johns.
Here.
Nina Williams here.
All right. In lieu of, I don't think anyone wants to speak to call the public. Todd, you're going to speak on your item, right?
She went to the restroom.
Oh. I'm going to decide that she's speaking on her item. Then item 1, approval of the action agenda of the October 3rd, 2022 regular meeting. Let me know when you have a motion.
I move to approve the agenda of the October 3rd, 2022 regular meeting.
I'll second.
Do we have any corrections, any issues? Then all ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Approved. Item 2, approval of the action agenda. You can't do it before I say it. Item 2, approval of the action agenda of the October 17th, 2022 special meeting.
Now.
I move to approve the action agenda of the October 17th, 2022.
Do I have a
special
second?
meeting.
Second.
Everyone seconded?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Angela.
Whichever way it is.
Do I have any corrections needed or anything? Then all ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Approved. Item 3, discussion regarding the final report from Kimbo Bisbee Poetry Normalization Project. You will find it in your packet. We awarded him $500. Honestly, I don't remember the exact date
I don't either.
of when this was awarded. I'll ask him. This is only a discussion item. I know that he wants to put it on the agenda again, but
Yes, but he was gonna fill out a new form for me and it'll be on the January one.
on the January meeting, we probably should have a discussion about how we're gonna do grants going forward.
Okay.
Because we're on a rolling grant thing right now because of COVID, but we want to see if we still want to continue that. Do I have any questions, concerns?
I know we had a lot of discussion about it at the time, but
He reassessed, we asked him to change it.
yeah. And what were the changes?
He was going to change the format of how he did it, and he was going to include more local poets, not just himself.
Yeah.
I think that was the main thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
he'd been doing it the same way for a few years, so I would probably like to have that discussion with him again.
How he plans to keep it fresh.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that people rarely ask us for money for things that are poetry related, so we were sympathetic to that point.
Yeah.
And he is obviously a full-time poet.
My main thing was that I was happy to have, I just wanted him to include some other artists, poets and other artists.
When he comes, I'd like to have the agenda item about discussing about how we're gonna do grants before we just have him come back.
Okay, so put him in February then?
Probably, I mean, what do you guys think? Because we
How
need to,
many times has he applied? I mean, is there any?
He's gotten this grant twice already.
Yeah, twice.
I know.
This is his second time.
Oh, this is only his side.
Oh, because I was thinking it was his third.
No.
I did too.
Okay.
but I think we need to talk about, we don't have a caveat that you can't apply.
Yeah,
But if we feel like, we can talk about that,
yeah.
you know?
Like how many consecutive years can somebody apply?
But going back to the subject, does anybody have any issues with this final report? Or any questions they want answered?
No.
Then we'll put it on the next agenda to just discuss grants.
Okay.
All right, Tanya, you're on.
Okay.
Item 4, discussion and possible approval of the grant application from Tanya Borgeson for scholarships for pottery lessons offered by Bisbee Pottery on the mountain events in the amount of $500. Do you want to give us, I know we have it, you want to give us a brief synopsis?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Nice
Hi.
to see you. Thanks for the great event that you put on for the community just recently, so I wanted to state that I was part of it. And it was a big thrill. And I know that a lot of other artists did attend, of course, but also are just excited that the energy was there to put on such a grand event, so thank you. I am asking for $500 for a scholarship, essentially, to get other community members involved in a local community ceramics class. And so, I'm gonna flip here. I've been a resident of Bisbee now for 8 years. This isn't the first grant application that I've applied for. I got the name Bisbee Pottery on the Mountain event for a different grant that I received that the artists and the community worked together in a park to make ceramics. This one essentially, we have a learning environment in Warren now that we're running some ceramics classes out of. It started in October of this fall, and so we had October, November, and then we just finished our December classes, the early part of the month here. And essentially, when I put the flyers out and got the feedback from the community, there's a handful of interested people that just can't afford to come. Some of them can afford half or a quarter of the cost. And so then I thought, well, maybe the Arts Council would be able to support either the full scholarship or a partial scholarship for these individuals. And that was just communicated to me through email and face-to-face conversation with local participants. So it would be open to the greater Bisbee community for a one-time, month-long ceramic class, meaning our classes are running three Tuesdays in a row, and then our final Tuesday, the fourth Tuesday, is a celebration of the making. So we have food and everything set out like a little mini gallery space. Now, these are people that, like, so far, nobody's had ceramics before. So they're all newbies, and for them to see their stuff finished in the glaze and see other student stuff finished in the glaze, and then to have some drink and some food and some conversation about it's really been successful. So again, no previous experience is needed to participate, but we are working with 18+ students at this time, so I incorporated that. I broke it down into 3 scholarships at $120, equaling $360, the 2 scholarships at $45, equaling $90, and then poster printing and press for $50. And the press that I did for the other Bisbee Pottery on the Mountain, I put a little flyer into the Observer, which cost some money, and then I just have been using Staples for printing. So we would be using these for our January and February classes, and then I felt like the scholarship would impact our community as it will address and help bridge financial barriers to ceramic education. This would aim to increase creative education and provide accessibility to a ceramic studio and lessons on ceramic techniques. This is very informal. We do have pottery wheels and hand building. Up to this time, everybody chose to do a little bit of both. There hasn't just been one person that just wanted the wheel, so it worked out really well. And then just in the additional information there, I stated, unfortunately, the high overhead of supplies and labor involved in ceramics can make it inaccessible to some. This scholarship would aim to bridge this gap by not turning someone away due to the lack of funds. We hope to change lives through pottery in a community creative environment. Pottery is therapeutic, it alleviates anxiety, it's communal, and it's a trade that can be used to economically empower. This support would provide an 18+ student in need to a free 4-class series. The $120 or $45 covers class, material, glazing, firing, and then the students keep their finished artwork.
Where do you do
Sounds very generous.
We have 2 kilns in that studio.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Where's the studio?
It's over by it's on Powell Street by the Boys and Girls Club and Mornings Cafe in Warren. Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Very clear and concise.
Not this time, but we do need to address in the next meeting, see how much money we actually do have. I'm like,
In the meantime,
Give it to her.
no, I mean, I don't think, we haven't hit we did have a budget for grants, and we have not hit those, but that is something I've been thinking about. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the, what do we wanna call it?
Read it like it's written.
Oh, okay.
She writes it in blue for you.
Oh, thank you. I move to approve the grant application for Tanya Jorgensen for scholarships for pottery lessons offered by Bisbee Pottery on the Mountain events in the amount of 500.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Do you have any additional questions, concerns? Then all ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion approved.
All right, wonderful. If I put a little statement together then, will you put it on your page about the scholarships?
Yeah, email it to me.
Okay, so that's what was the
That'd
next
be great.
question. Thank you so much. The
Thanks.
community really appreciates
When
it.
is your deadline for scholarships? It'll take about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it won't be approved until the 20th of December, and it should be paid the day after their meeting.
Yeah, I mean, we've let it go. I mean, people register literally the day of the class.
Okay, so that won't be an issue.
Yeah, and like I said, I already know a few people that have already expressed the need, so.
And Tanya, when you send Karen information, will you include maybe one, like, picture that could represent
So we can
the
put it
studio
on the
or something?
all right.
So that we can do Instagram as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been documenting all the
Great.
classes and the ceramics.
Perfect.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome to stay, of course, but you can also go home if you want to.
We're not that entertaining.
This is gonna be entertaining. Item 5, discussion regarding the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event. After action, this is a discussion only. Here is the financial breakdown. I have tried to simplify it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty straightforward, I like it.
Well, I think you're gonna see one of my lines that you would have hated me for. It's crazy. I
Thank you so
also
much.
retain the right that I may have screwed up something. Who knows? So let's look at our sales, the ones that are relevant at the moment. Total alcohol sales, 2024. We owe 25% of that to Gore Park Lunches. I haven't taken that out.
Okay.
Donations from inside the house,
The donation house, yeah.
1,042. The bank counted it, so they were both wrong.
Oh, okay.
They really loved me when I showed up today.
Well,
Online,
there's still a that's because there's still a $40 IOU outstanding. We get it.
online ticket sales, $5,560.45. Total checks, and the whole thing, before we pay off all of our, what we owe, $9,056.45. I didn't want to say that's a profit because it's not necessarily a profit. I won't go through the whole thing. If anybody has any questions, you can stop me, because most of this you know. The money we use from the BAC account, the money we use from the COVID grant, the donation that we received from Sloan and Danielle Bouchivet, the registration fees for vendors. Total, instead of profit, I would say total money read, grants, and BAC money comes to $44,731.45. That was the money that we were given or made for this event. Down below, you will see the breakdown of what we spent. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are lumped together, like equipment rental obviously is the tents.
Tables, chairs,
Yeah, tables, chairs.
porta
The
potties.
$75 that we paid to Jenny's son for the use of the flatbed and some other things. So if anybody wants a further breakdown.
That includes the porta potties and
Yeah.
all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
we went over our budget in some ways. Well, we did go over our budget. So this is the breakdown. we made more, we have more money than we spent. We knew that we were probably gonna go over. We received the donation for $5,000 from Sloan, which helped. And then there's a $4,452.80 that we went over. But we made it in what we made, so we're gonna use that to pay yo. Is that okay?
I will check with Carrie how we do all that.
Well, and I have checks.
I'm not a money person.
No, and I have checks and everything for you. I'll come by on Wednesday and I wanna talk to you about it.
I won't be there Wednesday, but Ashley will be.
Okay. So, any questions about this? It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to
It's a
keep
lot of
track
money,
of.
but-
Good job.
That's what I said, there could be something missing, I could have added something in, who knows? No, I mean, the real breakdown is this fabulous, these sheets.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that to you guys. We did have a budget of 30, we went to 35 with Sloan's money, we went over $4,052.80.
Well, and I remember when I was
Oh, we
talking.
got another donation by Kurt's, so we went over 3,000 something, if you include the 800 and something that Kurt gave.
I don't know if I included that.
Oh.
But I just remember when I had that long discussion with Dan Simons, and he said, "You're trying to do this for how much?"
What did he say that he spent?
He said we should have had at least $45,000 budget.
Well,
And so I'm like,
Well, let's see.
now I feel like we can brag.
44,700, oh, yeah.
Well, some of your money that you did spend was not in this budget year. Some of it was for last year, so technically you're probably not as
In the
over
red.
It's over as we
as you
it
think you are.
Okay.
But
Honestly,
I can get all of that from Carrie.
Yeah, we just break it down like that.
Hmm.
I mean, the thing is that I don't necessarily feel bad because we did not spend money that we did not have.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not like we did not take money from the city of Bisbee. For anybody who's watching this, we spent our own money and the COVID grant money, but we made back enough to cover our expenses. So I'm happy with that.
Me too.
It,
I'm really happy with it.
it was very expensive, but can you put a number on joy? Not my joy.
All of those other people's
Everybody else's joy.
No, but on a serious note, I mean, I do feel that people felt, I think the art community here felt very seen, which is very important. I believe that the book will outlive us all in some ways. I know that people, a lot of our artists people got in contact with them to do other artwork.
Yeah.
That we have people here, the first weekend, 2,000 people.
2,000, yeah, and then every weekend after that, average was 200. I mean, if some weekends a little bit more, but amazing to me.
Yeah.
I hosted head galleries, that was my line of business, and to have that many people coming through an installed exhibition 5 weeks after it's been installed is kind of,
that's amazing.
And probably somewhere very
Rewarding.
close to 3,000 people came
yeah,
through.
easily,
Um,
amazing.
The artist's reaction was just
Oh,
joy
it
and
was.
gratitude. I really.
I know, I feel like I'm just like, I will not get in trouble for like another month at least, you know? It's like, everybody's so happy. No, it was, we did not, just as a recap too, the vendors, that was, a big job. I had never done that before. I know that most of our vendors made over $1,000 on Saturday and close to that on Sunday, so they were very happy. So the amount of money, I know that our food vendors did really well too. I like the idea that a lot of this COVID money just went right back into the community. And you'll see that with performers, under that number,
Right.
and a lot of the other things went right back into town. So it was never the intention to make enough money to pay for this, because we're not crazy. We know that's not impossible. But to change the conversation about what the Bisbee art community is and how serious it takes itself. And I feel like in that vein, we did very well.
We did.
Yeah.
Great publicity, I think Eva did an amazing job. 2 weeks before the exhibition closed, we had Arizona Public Media come in and do a story and a radio segment, and it was amazing that was still happening.
Yeah.
3 weeks into the show, it was like, what?
That reminds me, I sent you did you get that invoice from Eva? I thought we had paid it out. I emailed you.
I did. I have not had a chance to look.
I thought we voted on it a long time ago. I just didn't realize we hadn't.
Yeah, I'll go back and look to make sure.
And I included that, I mean, everything.
Everything that's on there.
I know Deb Maroney also had not gotten her
Right,
check,
Deb Maroney has not gotten her check,
but I think,
and that's been a couple of months.
She said it might be a problem with her post
she
office.
actually blamed her post office, so.
Okay, so did you give me
March.
that?
Mhm, I
It
sent it
was
to you last week.
Okay,
No, I sent you an email.
for
asking-
both of them, right?
Yeah, this week I sent you the last one from the graphic designer, Ally, and the one from Eva.
I don't remember getting another one. Could you resend it to me?
So Deb, which one did you not get?
Eva.
I don't think I got the Deb one.
Okay.
I know I got the Eva one and the other,
Yeah, I sent those two today.
yeah.
Yeah. So as far as I know, those are the only, other than we're gonna vote on.
And you've got
next
that
year,
included in this building rental already. so
Yeah, it's all in here.
there, yeah.
Yeah, because we voted on it a while ago,
Yeah.
so.
You might check if that check is even.
And by the way,
It's
she's
just out there somewhere.
She's patient and loved having us fill up her space for a while. So-
Yeah. No, what may have happened is if she didn't cash it, it may just be an outstanding check and I can have them check that tomorrow.
Okay.
It's just those three. If anybody hears about anybody else,
Yeah, just let me know.
but otherwise, yeah, does anybody, I know that it seems like not a lot to say about something that was,
So elaborate.
so elaborate, which maybe is the best.
This sheet feed speaks for itself.
Do you want to make sure that we get some of the catalogs to the library?
So I have a stack of, if we want to go into that, we've got 8 more catalogs that we can sell. They could go to the bookstore at the table would take them. Problem is, when we sell them at $40 is what we've been selling them for, they cost us $33 something each to produce because we're over $10,000. So when we sell it for $40, they're gonna want a portion of it, and that doesn't really.
After a lot.
Yeah, so we can decide whether or not we want to do that. And I pulled another few set aside for posterity's sake, for the library, the museum, even the Restoration Museum should have one. So there's 5 that are just being held, and then 8 that are left for sale. However, we decide we want to do that. And there's one that gets to be gifted to the city. It's lacking 3 signatures. Sam Woolcutt, Jean Elliston, and obviously Monty Surratt. But I think that's it. So this is the signed catalog, and I was going to pass this around and ask the commissioners also to sign the first page, okay? And then the city has this beautiful signed edition.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did the donation house go to the city?
It's still sitting over there at David Rose's. It will go to the city, but I already have been contacted by the science lab asking to borrow it this Friday for some event they're having. Well, what I would like to do is bring that donation box in and put it in that window where you guys have a stack of presents. And I'll paint that window. Can we do something about all the signs around the side, or should I just push it all the way to?
Are you taking over City Hall now?
No. I'm done, you guys. This is me. This is my swan song.
Are you suggesting that we are gonna paint the window?
No, I'll do it.
So
I'll do it.
I cannot move those notices. We
Okay.
are in the process of getting the thing back out front.
Okay.
We just have not been able to find one due to COVID, and
Are you
so
guys cool with it if we do take
Oh, I
that
have no-
window and just paint it nice and put that thing in there?
I have no problem with that. The only person you need to talk to is Public Works, because they're over the building.
Oh, okay.
So just call Lorena.
Question, this is officially Sharon's last meeting, right? Or
Yes.
Next meeting? I thought you were gonna change.
Well, no, I didn't change it because in fact the next meeting, it's like my birthday or something. So, that's my phone being
It's
a
you,
doorbell.
you're the one, I
Um,
mean,
So, and so I will come though, if, I just don't have to be sitting here as a commissioner. I can-
But you're more than welcome to attend.
That would be nice. You know what, the real thing that I have to discuss, which we haven't gotten there yet, is the cigarette machine, you
well, I
guys.
put an agenda item on there, so you can talk about it then.
Okay,
Right now,
this is why I have to leave the
we're
commission.
talking about the art festival.
She just gets ahead of herself.
Tell me. Anything else about the art festival that anybody wants to talk about? Our stuff is still over there. My stuff is still over there.
Yeah.
Still under with you about that. We have more just posters and things.
Not much.
No, I don't know. I have enough rope to wrap City Hall. That was a gross overestimate on my part. Okay. Anything? Everybody's happy?
Yep,
Yeah.
happy.
everybody's glad it's over. Sorry I canceled the last meeting, but it was that reason we were all exhausted. Then I will move to item 6, discussion and possible approval to pay Sharon Sutter in the amount of $2,268.67 for the lights and additional building supplies for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event. What happened is, it was not, the building was not okay. It was not, that amount is actually in there.
It's in there.
I mean, if we decide to deny her money, then we'll take it out. But we have enough money, we will have enough money to cover it, and she bought lights. There was a problem.
There
We
were-
couldn't, we found out at the very last minute that we could not nail into the walls. And that also, there were not enough lights to light the show.
This is Sunday night before the Friday opening. And I'm in there, hey, we're taking
Sure.
everything down, you know.
Sure,
Yeah.
I think you ought to stay out of this discussion.
It's not my fault. I just used
I
my
don't know if
credit
that's a
card.
conflict of interest. It's like one big this is,
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
money.
Yeah.
No, I don't. He's just giving you hell. I gave you the better credit card statement with these on there. So she bought these supplies. We should pay her back,
Yes.
in my opinion.
That will be your parting gift.
We have her money back.
Don't W-9
In a case,
in January.
in a situation like this, and I will say that within the way that the city works, it's very hard when you're doing something and you realize you need something at the last minute.
Yeah.
So I know that it's not always favored upon to do this, but I guess we've done it a couple times in the past. When we find out that we suddenly have something that we have to buy.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So David Rose is keeping basically $2,000 or so worth of lights?
And, well, lights and the stuff that the wall system. But yes, the good news is that it gives us, the Bisbee Arts Commission, and a free pass for a couple more events. Not free, we still have to rent, but not like we would.
Does he acknowledge that?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Do you want it in writing?
Well, it's
It's kinda
an
nice.
important point, because.
Yeah, oh no, because I've told him, I said, I will remove all of this, or perhaps you just agree that the Bisbee Arts Commission
I think there
gets
was
to
a
have
hope that he
exhibitions
would,
here.
and right, there was a hope that he might want to purchase it, but I think that you can't.
Right.
I would say get a letter.
Yeah. Do you get a
Yeah.
letter?
Yes,
That
I
would
will.
be great.
As your parting gift to us?
Yes, I will.
Then do I have a motion?
I move to approve paying Sharon Stetter in the amount of $2,268.67 for the lights and additional building supplies for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions, concerns? Then all ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Then approved. You can run that.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, guys.
I have to say that Sharon did an incredible job of installing, and it was a desperate time where you realize that when you cannot nail into the wall suddenly, and you have 130 pieces of art, you're in big trouble.
I had walked the lineal, well, actually, I'd done the lineal, stretching them, how many feet of art we had on our, forms that we received, by how many feet of wall we had. And I was like, no, I have to use all the walls, so, anyway, it worked out just fine, and I do apologize to everybody for somewhat being a little bit of a bull in a china shop, and something needs to get done, I just said, I'm gonna do it, because it has to be done.
Well, and I mean, even the rest of us in that same position would have had to make the same decision.
I would have freaked out even more.
I freaked out, but I was okay ultimately. We're just
So-
not used to doing it like that, but
No.
there was having an event is very difficult when you have to.
When you don't have a facility.
Yeah.
Now we have a facility, and I guess that's the point, we ask him to put that in writing.
Just sign over the building to us. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so then I'll go to item 7. These are pretty simple. Discussion and possible approval to pay Gore Park Lunches, Healthy Bisbee 25% of the beer and wine sales for the use of their liquor licenses. It's not really a choice, but we have to vote on it. They were nice enough. The thing that I was going to broach to you guys is that Dan Maldonado spent a whole lot of money getting insurance for these, and I had talked to some of the board members that they didn't believe that he needed to spend quite so much on insurance. There was a bit of confusion there. And so I was going to ask the commission if it was possible, it's 2024 with the alcohol sales, 25% of that is, you figure that out for yourself.
500
Little-
or something.
Yeah, if you guys had any, if it would be possible to just make it a flat 600. To cover their insurance plus a little more. Can we do that?
Instead of putting 25, you can say the amount.
Because it was a struggle. Dan had never done this before, and he was really worried, and so he got insurance that I don't know if he even needed to get. And so the idea that it would be costing Gore Park lunches money
Right.
Yeah,
really doesn't sit well with me.
No, it
me
doesn't.
neither.
So that was my idea. What do you guys think?
So it
of
would
that?
be, what's the amount then?
It'd be
It would be
600.
600,
Okay.
because I think insurance came to 515 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Tracy about it for a while, because I just felt bad, because he was very worried.
Yeah.
So he got crazy insurance that may have covered our entire event, who knows? So, I don't know, does anybody have any issues with that? It's just that the whole point of doing it was to give money to something that was not arts related.
Right.
So I'd hate to pull money from them. Do you have a motion then?
Yeah. I move to approve paying Gore Park Lunch, Healthy Bisbee, $600 of the beer and wine sales for the use of their liquor licenses.
Oh, you're so good. Second?
Second.
All ayes?
Uh,
Any nays? That was at least a sign to make it.
And we all appreciate it on the board, thank you, Karen.
No, of course, I was still tipped. It was, someday I'll tell you the song, but not today. This is another one. This is not money. Discussion and possible approval to have a letter drafted for Electric Brewery for the donation of beer for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts. If anybody is not aware, they donated an incredible amount of beer to us. I have the amount on my email.
$670 worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we only spent $500 on booze, even though we had budgeted for 1,000. And he said he was only going to give us a certain amount, and then when you ran out of that, he just kept on getting more.
That's the benefit of having a local brewer who's
Mhm.
2 miles down the road.
They were very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
Super generous.
Yeah. So we just need an official letter written that that's the amount they donated to us.
Okay.
Um,
How much, I'm sorry, how much was that amount again?
670?
670?
let me double check.
Wow.
I got Holly on here somewhere, please.
I know this is related to this, but I'll just throw out, I already sent a thank you email to Arizona Water.
670. Oh, you
670.
did? Oh, thank God.
I went in and hugged them too.
Well, they never gave us a banner.
I know, they said, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and they showed up and they just like undid the water thing and ran away.
They had 3 people there working on it, and I mean, that's like a big deal. And there's a lot of water too to donate.
It was an exceptional amount of water.
Yeah.
And those guys, like, I was there from 4 o'clock on. They took them until like almost 10 to fill those water barrels up.
I went in and hugged them and said they were our heroes.
Thanks.
They appreciated it.
Very diplomatic. So yeah, just 670.
Okay.
We just need, so he can write it off for whatever people do. It was incredibly kind of him. And we urge, we were talking about as a commission going over there and showing our. if we can-
yeah, we were
really
going
going
Yeah.
They were.
It's impossible to get everyone on this commission on the same schedule. I don't know how we did it, but one of these days we will do it.
They would like that.
This is my favorite agenda item, discussion regarding the resignation of chairs.
It's okay.
I put it on here because in the past, people resign and then we don't put it on the agenda, so nobody can say anything, and it's very awkward. But, as your chair, I wanted to thank Sharon for her how many years has it been? We've been on this together for a long time.
For a while. Yeah, I don't know that I finished I think would be in January would I be done with my third?
Yeah, so you've been on there 6 years.
6 years, yeah, that's what I thought.
That's crazy.
And you guys, it's not because I haven't enjoyed it, and like I said, I need to apologize all the time because of the way I behave here. I've been keeping my mouth shut lately, but,
The reply all.
the reply all. It's been a wonderful time, and I just need to have some time with my husband, and it doesn't mean that at some point down the road I won't come back and help again. But I just need a break.
Ooh, it's like a little mini
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah.
carrot dangling. If we have need, you know, I mean, I loved what I did, especially this particular part of what we did. This exhibition was really important and really, I loved the work, so no problem.
It's been
It's a
wonderful.
lot of work, but I loved it.
Thank you.
So I'm happy to have done it. What do I need to say here? Okay, nothing.
I
I
mean,
can
it's
talk
a-
to you about that. Okay, good. All right.
No, I mean, agenda items for
I'll just
everything.
you did.
Would anybody else like to say anything?
I just want to thank you so much. It's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's
And
been
you
really good.
encouraged everyone to come, and we've enjoyed.
Me too, Sharon.
here
I'm
with you.
thrilled that you were here, and really your expertise made a big difference, you know,
Yeah.
and your experience, it's been a pleasure
Invaluable.
to see
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I know I'm inappropriate most of the time though.
That's why we love you, Sharon.
You know that, I got you beat. All right.
And you recruited me after all, so.
Yeah, there you go. And I am working on recruiting someone, by the way. I am working on somebody coming in, so
Yeah.
Good.
pretty good person.
Sharon told me, it's almost, well, in January, it'll be 2 years for me.
Yeah.
And I said something about, I need something that'll give a little meaning to my life.
You guys, I thought
And
I turned
Sharon's
this
like,
off, so.
I know something that'll give some meaning to your life.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
Yes,
You're welcome.
thank you so much, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Item 10, discussion of possible action on the future of the Bisbee Restoration Window Series. This is something that we've all worked on, but Sharon also has worked a lot on. And so I wanted to think about what we're gonna do in the future. Do we want to continue doing this?
The Restoration Museum has asked if you guys would continue to do it. So if you want to, and I do have an idea for that.
What is
This
it?
is, yeah.
This is where Sharon doesn't quit.
I know.
I am still quitting.
This is what I was worried about.
There have, one of the things I encountered doing this exhibition with a number of artists whose partners are left with their art when they die. An extreme number of people in our town seem to be in this situation. And one in particular, currently the piece by Alvin Sandler that's in the window of the Fado Singer, that's Catherine Hagstrom's husband. She's also an artist. And he was quite prolific in his life, and she has 3 apartments of his work that she needs to do something with.
Wow.
And it's at the point where, and I'm not joking, this is what artists do, you have a bonfire.
Uh-huh.
But if given the opportunity to do something with the window with regards to like acknowledging the deceased artists who have bodies of work available, that these works could be sold, she wants to make a big donation to their church in town, the Presbyterian church.
Is there a way to do it so that we would not be the ones?
We're
that
not
have
the
to-
ones selling, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we would not be the ones
I
taking
just
the
don't
money.
want to, I don't want to put us in that role, yeah.
But I think a sign, like we always have signs in the window, but a sign that would talk about this, very kind of pressing issue for some of these people that I've met. And instead of just having the work be gone, because I've had this idea of a good and dead exhibition. But basically that's what that window has been. These have been our community artists that have passed. And now I'm looking at some of these people who are like saying, hey, I've got a lot of work of my husband's or my wife's or my partner's that I don't know what to do with, short of, burning it. So I don't know if you guys want to brainstorm that idea. I did tell them we are taking that window down this week that's in there. I
You
don't
told them that, huh?
Well, that's what they wanted to hear. That's what they wanted to hear because it's a dated window already.
Well, can we take it down and do we have to fill it
Do we
right?
have to listen to you anymore?
That's actually no, but when it comes to cigar machine, yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you don't have to do this, but I do need to let them know what you guys want.
What do you guys want to do? This is the thing about Sharon, which is great, is that Sharon has put a lot of time and energy into doing these things, and I just don't want us to take on more than we can do, because many of us have jobs,
Right.
and so that's my situation, is that I have a job too, so it gets a little inky on that
And
one.
I mean, I feel the same way. I would really like to keep all of the things going that we had going on before we started the festival planning.
Mhm.
I feel like we had like kind of a pet projects for each commissioner, you know?
Mhm.
But that's where I'm nervous, is just that it's like, well, I'd love to say, let's keep doing it, but then I can't jump in and say I'm gonna take over.
Well, that's what I think, my biggest concern, not to go to what I want, is the cigarette machine.
Right.
And we have to start
Yeah.
figuring out how to
We
take
have
that
to
over.
figure that out before we figure out the.
Yeah.
I have some ideas for that too.
Well, so, what I would say, and I know this is disappointing, is that maybe it's time to stop that for a little while, and then we concern ourselves with taking over the cigarette machine.
Yeah.
Because that's like, the cigarette machine is like a full-time job for you.
Yeah.
Today I met with 3 artists. But we sold 68 pieces last month out of the machine, and that's November, and it's only gonna, February, we sold 100 and something last year, so. If you can keep the machine supplied, if you can keep the machine fulfilled, it will
It'll
keep
keep
making money.
producing money.
So we need to really think about the transit, how we're going to continue that. That's what's
Right.
really important.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
I agree, because I've been sort of dreading that, because, I mean, I don't want to, I don't feel like I could take that responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, we
It's
might
a
be
huge
able,
amount of responsibility.
might be
Can I
What?
talk about how it could be made easier?
Yes.
Are we on to the cigar, are we
No.
dropping the restoration?
Now we need to finish up.
we
talking
have,
about it.
yeah. Exactly.
So what do
This
we
is
need?
why Sharon's off the commission.
So what do we need to decide tonight in regards to
If
the?
we are going, well, okay, so we have to take everything out of the window this week, because Sharon told them we were already going to.
She asked me to last week. Actually, she asked me to when the event was over, and I went in and I removed some of the stuff that was dated.
Okay,
When we start taking stuff out, we either have to make a decision that we're gonna continue or not for the time being.
okay. Is it something that we
So they're not
could
gonna leave it in.
take a temporary break from it?
I've been sick, I gotta
I know.
Are you okay?
I'm getting sick.
Don't ask her
man. I
right
gotta
now,
go.
she's
I'll
fine.
see you guys
We're
later.
good, bye-bye.
Is it something where we could take a temporary break, let the museum do a temporary fill of the window so it's not sitting there empty, and then pick back up later?
Probably. I mean, they were stoked at the idea of like having somebody other than them do it. Because
Of
there were
course.
2 women who were doing the restoration museum.
Yeah,
So I think that maybe it's just something to, instead of saying, we are gonna do this thing next, maybe it would be good to clean the window out and let them have it back, and then we'll reassess.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
that's the
agree.
best
Does
decision.
that sound
I
good?
agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's involved, what do we have to do actually as far as
cleaning the window out.
getting the window cleaned up?
Most of it, half art.
Karen takes her art, I take my art, we're done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's sort of what it seemed like.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Sharon and I can meet up and do everything. 'Cause, yeah, half of it's mine, half of it's her problem.
Okay,
Someday I will need a storage unit for all the signs that we've made over the years.
so we need a motion.
And then,
No.
yeah, we do.
Do we?
I mean,
Oh,
still,
okay.
theoretically.
I put it on there because I wasn't sure what you wanted to do, but if you want to just hold off onto it, we don't have to make a motion.
Let's Sharon, you and I will clear it up,
Mhm.
and then
Put it on it later.
let's talk about it next time.
Okay.
Because item 11 is the cigarette machine.
Yeah, and I still teach yoga tonight. Cigarette machine, here's a really easy way to make this work without it being so much of a challenge because right now what I do is I collect the inventory and I give a receipt to the artist for the inventory, then I put it into an inventory spreadsheet, and then I keep track per artist.
Right.
And then at the time that we are paying the artist, which has been every 4 months, so 3 times a year we're paying the artist, I have to do a big inventory, massive inventory, counting each artist individually.
And then I turn in a thing.
And then it's a big check request, and then it's, yeah. What if, I don't know if this is possible, the machine has proven itself to function pretty well, and even when an artist's work doesn't sell in the machine, you put it into the mystery slot and it sells.
So
You just don't invite them back. What I think we should do is pay the artist upfront. Then all you have is a count. You still have the individual slots. You don't have to do the inventories. All you have to do
I
is.
see what you're saying.
So an artist comes and gives us 10 pieces, we give them $100.
I will have to ask Carrie, but
Yeah,
I
that's a hard
don't.
one.
I'm hard pressed to say that she'll say yes to that, or that's something we can do. But I will check with her tomorrow or the next day.
Otherwise, I will train somebody to do this, and I'm going to carry it on through to this next inventory. I'll do the January 1 inventory because the artists are waiting for the paid checks after the holidays, So it's a job. If somebody is familiar with retail, it's not a hard job at all. But it is doing that inventory, which is a few hours of effort, 4 hours probably on that, just doing that.
Well, and
And then it's the constant refilling and stuffing the machine and keeping it occupied. So it could be retired also, the machine could be retired, but it's a good machine.
I think that's,
No.
no, I think that's the best thing that you,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
also-
everybody talks about it.
Yeah, everybody
And-
loves it.
And a reminder for those of you who are not on the commission before, we used to have a fundraiser every year.
Yeah,
Right?
And now we don't have to.
because it's.
I mean, yeah, because the
It'd be
cigarette
nice to
machine-
have, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, we had like fundraisers while we had the cigarette machine, but nothing like, we had to like raise like $15,000 a
Yeah.
year. And now the machine kind of does it for us.
Offsets a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I would not necessarily personally mind, like, I could put things into boxes and stuff. I mean,
I was gonna say, can we break it into some different kinds of duties?
No,
Yeah.
because everything needs to be held in one person's,
Yeah.
it's really not that hard to do. And I have been talking to Josie Oldfield, I may as well name names.
Mhm.
She's talking about after the new year coming on and that taking that job would be her job. As like.
Coming
this is-
on as a member.
As a member of the commission, but like somebody who can do this job, who's willing to meet with artists and collect the work and then do the fulfillment of stuffing boxes. I mean, yes, you could invite people to come over, but to have things going in different directions.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
agree.
just,
It needs to be
everything, by the way, is in one big Rubbermaid one of those big Tupperware boxes. And the whole thing fits into that and it can be transferred to somebody, so.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if you
And
can,
I'll be here through January, till
Yeah.
the 1st of January, we'll get it,
if you can
I'm
convince
fulfilling it now.
Josie, if you can convince Josie to do it, otherwise we will have to reassess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there is the possibility,
Well, it's not a week, it's like, it's not a job that you have to it's just that you have to make time to meet with artists. So let's say, last month we sold 68 pieces. So if I got from, that would be 7 artists that you'd have to meet with. If you got 10 pieces, but today, artists are getting to the point where like you, here's 19. That ought to hold you for a little while, because they're getting tired of me
I just
harassing
make them
them.
until I drop and then I'm like, you get.
Yes, and so that's a problem with trying to pay people up front. They would have to hold their inventory back and give it to you in 10 at a time, because I don't think you would want to pay it ahead.
That far.
That far,
Yeah, that far.
yeah.
But
We need to just, you know what, I hate to say this, we need to sit down and like write out exactly.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was
and I
gonna say.
have, I've got all the job description all written out so that somebody can actually take it on. It's
Because
not,
that's the part that I think when I first came on the commission, I was like,
and I overwhelmed you.
yeah, I was
And
like,
then you do
I don't
this,
think so,
and
Sharon.
then you do this, and then you do this.
The only part of it that sounds
You need to write a
too
book,
much to
Sharon,
me
about
is
how to
meeting
do
with
it.
people. It's just because meeting with people takes time.
Well,
does.
and, that's where I'm wondering, yes, one person needs to be the central in regards to
Collection.
all of the the machine and all of that, but I'm wondering as far as meeting with the artist and collecting the inventory and then passing it.
Or possibly the artist could deliver the inventory
Drop it off at
to
City Hall.
and then. it
Because
just
that
goes-
would cut out
Oh, that would
lots
be
of time
huge.
consumption.
Yeah,
It
That
sounds
would
like
be
a case
huge,
of,
Sharon, wouldn't it?
it'd be great if
Yeah.
it was
And,
free.
and now that it's working, now it's not convincing of people to do this.
Yeah.
They're asking to be in. It's not like, I mean,
That's
it
a
used to be
great
I met
idea.
with them to schmooze, it was a
I'm
schmoozing
sure.
job.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
like
because
maybe,
at this point, I feel like there's some places where we could streamline
off
it, shave
time.
off some
Yeah,
time
absolutely,
consumption.
Absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
like, I don't mind meeting with a bunch of artists, but like, the time consumption is the part that's.
Right.
Well, that's the thing, is like, it's not just me,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's like a
it's-
20-minute conversation at least.
with every, well, it turned into an hour with me, but,
And that happens a lot.
yeah.
So if you could just on your way home, stop by here, pick up the pieces, take them home and start watching a movie and stuffing boxes, which is
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
It's like, not that bad.
Let's,
Yeah, that's a good, I'll give you, I'll have that all ready for you guys on, even though I'm not,
That, like an outline.
I'm gonna be sitting over there at the next meeting,
Yeah.
but I'll be here.
But if we saw.
if
an
you sit
outline-
over there at every meeting for the next year, then
We'll be good.
there goes her time with her husband.
Yeah. You can bring her. You can sit over there.
You can bring her, you can line while we're here.
we need to streamline it maybe, and also,
Yeah, I agree.
but we have to make, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because
it
even
is.
if Josie's unable to come on board, I'm getting much more streamlined with the Instagram. It's not taking as much time. I am also realizing that I'm having just as much impact with less posts than I was doing before. I'm feeling better about it because I've streamlined my job. And then I can't speak for other commissioners, but I know we have at least one that's like got lots of energy. And so there would be a possibility there could be a job share, I believe, like between Holly and I in regards to the SIG art machine if Josie was unable to come on board.
Yeah, we need a backup plan.
So,
Do you want to put that back on in January?
Great.
yeah.
Does that sound?
No, you're fine.
Is that sensible enough for you? Okay.
Yeah, it does.
It's not like that came
I
in.
just-
We just have to come up with a plan.
Yeah, and we still have to have a dinner anyway.
No, we should have a dinner.
Yeah, we all need
We
to.
should go, we all should
On
go
your
to a beer.
We can celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. If
We're going back to just monthly meetings too, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am.
once a month.
If you look in your packet, there was a nice little notice of
Yeah, I
all your
remember seeing
meetings.
that, and I was like, is this for real, or is this
Yeah.
just like a joke?
No.
When we started, when Sharon and I were first here, I was here a little bit before her, we had a meeting every other month. We got nothing done.
I was just gonna say, how did you get anything done?
No,
They
it's-
didn't.
It's insane, because a lot of the other commissions only meet every other month, but it's just like, it doesn't work for us. Because
We really wanted to do stuff, and we really did.
Yeah.
This is a great commission. I hope you guys,
I feel
Keep it
like
going,
we get
and
a lot of stuff
in a few
done.
years, I can come back.
and then I will leave.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Not because of you, but because I thought about leaving, but I can't leave with Sharon leaving.
Well, and that's kind of, I actually was thinking about leaving, but then I heard about other people leaving, I'm like, no, okay.
Let's give it a little, let's give it a little transition.
I
time.
think it's just post
Can't have a mass
festival.
exodus. What are we supposed
Yeah.
to do?
Holly will be the only one left.
I don't even know what's going on yet.
No, I'm not gonna leave. I joined this commission because it was a little bit of a mess when I was joining.
What it was.
But you really missed some fun times with the cast of characters early on, like Poe or Kelly Galligan here on the Earth Commission. It was great. We were just trying to get it to work again.
Yeah.
I'm off topic though. Anything else about the cigarette machine?
I think we all agree that it definitely must go on, and
Will you work with us and we'll figure it out?
yeah,
It's gonna be fine, you guys. It's
Yeah.
really not a hard thing to do.
we'll figure it out.
Even if somebody does decide that they wanna play, I mean, if you wanna play, if you like to play store.
I just like playing store.
And maybe grandkids that would play, that's what I do.
Item 12, fresh meat, discussion on recruiting new Bisbee Arts Commission members. So
mentioned it to a
somebody
few
said
of my
Josie, right?
That's what
Yeah,
Sharon
so we're
said.
working on Josie. How many, is it 7?
We can have 7 total. Right now, we're gonna have 5.
Okay, so we're gonna have, and I was working on Wendy.
That'd be good.
Oh, she'd be good.
And pretty much.
There were some other people. Have you had any people were asking me about joining? Have you had anybody contact you?
Nope.
They were like, these people just do, like, this is crazy.
Anybody that complained about anything we did, I said, gosh, you got a really good idea, you should join the commission. So you should be getting lots of calls, right?
Oh my god. We only had a couple of complaints. But we won't go.
No,
we're not
we don't need
relevant.
to talk about it.
So anybody else? I honestly, over the years,
Well,
I've
I
talked to
said she
everybody.
was.
I've mentioned it to my friend Cara Sajeski and Robert Dayton, and they were both like, I'm pretty interested, and then I forgot to remind them about the meeting today, so they are not here.
Well, it's also, so it's first in line, so you have to apply through the city, and then you have to get voted on by the city council, and then you can come. But if a bunch of people sign up, they just go down the list, right? Like,
Well, if multiple people sign up at one time, then they put them all on there and they choose which,
The council or us?
the council
yeah.
chooses who goes on.
Oh,
Council, not the commission.
No, the council.
Well, I mean, the mayor will get with
The
Leslie.
chances that 15 people are gonna all, it's really funny.
we're getting really hopeful here.
Yeah, boy.
You never know sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I feel
Especially after this event.
So So as far as the people that we have talked to, we should go ahead and have them fill out, now is the time to go
I
ahead.
would ask Josie to go ahead and do it if she thinks she wants to do it.
Okay.
And if your friends want to do it, go ahead and tell which one you'd like more to do it,
And I'll talk to Wendy.
or Wendy.
Yeah.
But, no, it's just unfortunate when somebody signs up and then there's no vacancy.
Yeah.
So just, I would.
Well,
that's
Josie
what
did
she's
say not to bring it up to her till after the new year, so.
Well, we're gonna talk about you at this meeting.
Yeah. No, I told her I was suggesting her, so.
Yeah, we've gotten down to 4 before. I mean, it always waxes and wanes. But if you have somebody that you think would really enjoy it, that's the main thing. That would be great, anyone. Any other discussion on that? Then, item 13, future agenda items.
Yeah,
Yes, ooh.
I was talking to Deb Maroney, and she, after the art festival, we were talking about how a nice idea for our next project for us would be to have an artist studio tour.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
There used to be one, right?
I
I
think
think
that's
it's
a great
Love
idea.
that idea.
So it would be it could generate super bunch of enthusiasm
Mhm.
and be a big event, and I'd say less
It'd
work
be a-
for us than.
And it would be a fundraiser, it really.
Yeah, each tour
Bill
would
remembers the
be
studio.
something.
Were you the one that told me that story about somebody, they had a studio tour, and somebody went into Rose Johnson's studio, and she was like drunk and naked? Infamous.
Yeah.
I may have told you that.
Yeah. So there
Rose
was,
did live right below me.
there is like a,
There was
there was one.
There were,
Drunk and naked was
And they-
a common occurrence.
we've done it before, let's just say.
No, that was, I mean, she was great.
So I think,
Wrong.
is that something that, we could do a couple times a year and,
No.
just once a year or?
It's like a home tour, yeah.
Okay. Oh, or we would do more than one studio or just one?
Oh,
studio?
no, just a bunch at one time.
Oh,
is what
okay,
I'm
okay,
thinking.
okay, like a home tour.
Like
but
a
studio.
big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people,
Okay.
one weekend or
Okay.
And an exhibition that went along with that would be really cool, I mean, if you.
Sharon, why are
I'm
you,
sorry.
you're leaving.
I-
Nobody knows how to put that on but you.
One or the other, not both at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, actually, when Sharon was talking about the dead artists, it seems like some of these people have enough art that each of those people could have their own exhibit somehow.
Yeah.
That's something else I think we should talk
That's
about.
something else, yeah.
I like the studio tour thing. I mean, people have already been asking if we're gonna do this, and then I told them to not talk to me about it.
Right.
Like there's the Dead Poets Society, what about the Dead Artists Society, tour? I mean, who loves gruesome stuff?
Yeah, I feel like some people would think it's funny, but some people would also think we're just,
No, yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
but the studio tour thing, and there was one. I know Central School was
We've done it.
talking about doing one, and we can also partner with them and have them all do it too.
Mhm. But it seems like we could make it as big as we wanted to, like it could be a
Glorious.
big event like the home tour.
Yeah.
Just have to do a better map.
Let's find out.
I got the
Can somebody
Well, and
find
it
out?
might be something that since we're nervous about the possibility of ever doing like an annual big festival again, is it could replace, be a
It's
smaller.
definitely
We do it by
less work for us, I feel like.
Yes.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this became an
That'd be a lot
agenda
less.
item, but so next time we will talk more about it.
Sure.
Can somebody find the people who did it before?
It was mostly Central School,
Was it?
wasn't it?
I think so.
No, well, Rose Johnson, she didn't have Central School Studio.
I know, but I remember going to a Central School event.
Central School was talking about doing it next year. So, anyway, let me see where they're.
I don't remember I don't remember the one.
I don't
remember how long ago was it.
Like so dangerous.
Any other agenda items?
I feel like that one ought to keep you going for.
I think that's about
Trying
it.
to do
good
slower.
It's a really good one, yeah.
No, it's great.
So we'll put that, next month's meeting, we'll talk about that some more.
Mhm.
Good.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we're not really supposed to discuss it. That's why you wrote no discussion. We all just broke the rules. All right.
Well, that's why I just look at you.
Sorry. Do I have a motion?
Adjourn, I move that we adjourn.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All ayes?
Aye.
And also, thank you guys, and thank you, Bill Higgins, for returning to us.